Hello everybody and welcome back to episode 4 of Terraria Calamity. Now we're starting off the day getting straight into some action. Now you see I added a mod which of course adds both Crimson and Corruption into your world. And you know, with us already having decided that we're not going to fight the Eater of Worlds, I thought that it would be cool if we tried out Hivemind because he's the unique mirror of the Perforator to the Corruption, and since we've already killed the Perforator, I saw it fitting to kill Hivemind as well. So we went over to the Corruption and destroyed a Hive Cyst to try out the Hivemind to see how well we'd do against him, because conveniently our Corruption was relatively flat, so we wouldn't really have to build an arena. And so we ended up dying on our first try, but then we gathered our buffs and went back. Blood Moon. We gathered our buffs and went back, and this time we managed to do pretty well against him, and we did end up winning. Hell yeah. So we returned back to our base with his spoils and realized that there wasn't really anything of interest to craft with his materials. And it was at this point that we realized that it was time to fight our good old boy Skelly. And so we charged straight into battle against Skelly with no arena whatsoever, halfway through the night, not realizing that we would actually end up running out of time, because it appears that Death Mode Skelly Boy has 4 hands instead of 2 that regenerate after a certain period of time, which bring his head back up to infinite armor and make it unkillable. So we ended up running out of time trying to re-kill the hands. And so that's when we realized that it was probably smart to build an arena first off, and second off, start the fight at the beginning of the day. And so that's what we did. We ran over to the right and periodically mowed down some meteorite. And then we went over to the dungeon and built our arena and started the fight. And let's go! Nice. Dude, this spear is so insane. With Skelly Boy being defeated, we proceed to go down into the dungeon and find the mechanic, who immediately gets killed by a goddamn spike ball. And also, while scouring through some juicy loot, find the Goblin Stinkerer, who we will surely empty our life savings on later in this series. After finally running out of gold keys and patience, we finally left the dungeon and decided that it was time for another epic gamer mowing session, because killing the Perforator and the Hivemind spawned aerialite in our caverns part of the world, and so we went. Whoop! so after demolishing the goblin army, we went to the guide to see what kind of juicy, delicious stuff we can make out of that area light. And while looking at the recipes, we realized that a bunch of the recipes required clouds and rain clouds, so we went up to the Sky Island and mined some of those. But then we also realized afterwards that all of them required a sky mill to make, so we went back up again and looted the chest of its sky mill so that we could finally craft these juicy items.
Oh yes! Oh! Thank you!
It turned out that we were missing bones for our area light wings, so we marched our happy asses all the way back to the dungeon just to kill like 3 fucking skeletons so that we could get 20 bones. Yeah. Now after we got the bones, we were finally able to craft the Skyline wings. We ended up testing them out and they were surprisingly amazing considering the state of the game we were at. After that, we decided that it was finally time to upgrade to the magic storage unit mod because chests just weren't cutting it anymore. But you know, me being the dumb idiot that I am and not knowing what the hell I am doing, I decided to watch a YouTube video on it.
The first item you'll want is a storage heart, which is the thing that acts as the storage part of your chest system units, as long as they're touching, or you can upgrade them, which will make that single storage unit hold more items, or demonite bars, and 1 amethyst to create a storage upgrade. Total of 6 storage unit upgrades. As you progress through the game and get better materials, you can upgrade them more. We're going from default sorting, item ID sorting, name sorting, and quantity.
Okay. Now that my smooth brain had finally been wrinkled up a little bit, we made a proper storage room. And then... Blood Moon. Now, after that Blood Moon fiasco was finally over, we looked into crossing Queen Bee off of our hit list, and so we built our arena, and, well, you know... I mean, you know what they say, second time is always a charm, so let's go again. Let's go! Hell yeah, get destroyed. Man, that fight feels so nostalgic. Anyways, with Queen Bee out of the picture and our buffs still going, we decided that it would be smart to at least attempt our next runner-up on the list, the Slime God, and see how we fare against him. Now, of course, we do end up getting rocked the first time around, but then we come back. Let's go! Yeah! Oh, wow, that fight is intense as hell. And then you've got purified gel. That's what we've been waiting for. And now with the slime god dead, and the purified gel within our grasp, we are able to craft some amazing gear. The one I aimed for specifically was the fractured arc, which we had all the materials for except for copper, bars, and a star fury. So we went and got that and crafted the fractured arc. That's crazy. Can I craft this? Arc of the Ancients. So basically, the fractured arc is a true melee weapon, which means that you need to actually hit the melee up close and personal for it to be able to do anything special. And the way that the fractured arc works is if you left click, you swipe and you do melee attacks. But if you right click, you poke the sword out and you do a parry. And in this parry, if you parry an attack or an enemy with this, then the fractured arc is able to shoot out projectiles for a short amount of time. And these projectiles do massive damage, especially when combined with the melee. We tested out the fractured arc on the Eye of Cthulhu, using the Eye of Cthulhu as a test dummy. And after a few attempts, we started to understand how the fractured arc worked. Damn, and who knows? Maybe this is what we'll be using to fight the Wall of Flesh. You'll have to wait and see to find out in the next episode of Terraria Calamity.